Yo, what's good? It's your boy Big Bain in this thing. Hey, check this out before we jump into the awesomeness, right? Need y'all to check me out on all my social platforms. I'm pretty much on everything. Check me out on SoundCloud, Patreon, BeatStars, all the streaming services. My official website, forexwithbain.com. That's where you can join my Discord. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, all right? Let's get right into it.
Yeah, I'm really finna get your ass the game, man. You know I break it down. Come on, man, you know it's Bain.
All right, guys, we're jumping right into it because we are late and a little bit of a delay. So boom, here we are on the dollar. Guys, I'm expecting a rise out of the dollar. I did expect that rise when we were here. We did get a little bit of a retest to the area that we broke previously, but now I believe we made the new low that we're going to make, and we're going to pull back from that low into either this imbalance or somewhere near this supply area. Again, there's imbalance that sits, way up here as well. So we could see the dollar retrace all the way into that imbalance before it begins to fall again. So for the beginning of, or from Tuesday going forward to the end of the week, I'm expecting the dollar to rise. All right, over to our dollar, I'm expecting it to fall. Looks like we're testing, like we're going to break above this resistance area, which we very well could, and we keep rising. But as it stands right now, you guys can see that we've had a major rise, right, out of the odd dollar since we broke this low, right? So it made this low and then it pulled all the way back, right, to the supply area as the dollar was falling, right? So the odd was rising. Now the dollar is at a low. So exactly what the odd dollar did here is what I'm expecting the dollar to do. So let me show you again, right? Look, you see the major drop on odd dollar. It had the major drop. So it found this low and then it went all the way back up to supply, taking out liquidity and sweeping this previous high. So I'm bearish on odd dollar, but you can see I'm expecting the dollar to do what the odd dollar did on this major move up. All right, so we should see the odd dollar fall. All right, so far it is still bullish, so be careful. All right, over to euro dollar, same exact thing, right? We broke the high, made a new high. I'm expecting the euro dollar to fall as I expect the dollar to rise. We got imbalance between these two candles, and then we have a bit of support or liquidity area here with our demand areas sitting somewhere here. All right, now the overall trend again is up, so we'll just be catching the pullback to where we want to potentially look to buy the euro dollar, because at that point we should expect the dollar to fall. All right, but bearish on our dollar, bearish on euro dollar. All right, over to pound dollar, same exact thing. I'm expecting it to fall, bearish on pound dollar. New Zealand dollar, also expecting it to fall, no surprise there, birds of a feather. All right, bearish on New Zealand dollar. All right, dollar CAD, so just like I'm expecting the dollar to rise, the dollar based pairs, I'm expecting those to rise as well. So I'm bullish on dollar CAD. All right, we had our break, we made our low, and now we've got a nice bullish engulfing candle at this low, right, to where we can start to do our pullback on the dollar, getting up to this level of supply. We're looking at roughly 200 pips to the upside. So again, I'm bullish on dollar CAD. All right, on dollar CHF, I'm bullish as well. I can see that we had some sort of consolidation in this area. We broke the low, right? We broke that low and we made this new low. So again, we could potentially start pulling back to sweep liquidity above these highs and balance out any of the imbalance that we see towards the top of this area, right? So again, getting into a bullish position from this low is a great idea. Here's 139 pips roughly. If we fill these gaps, there's 265 all the way to the top, 430. All right, so dollar CHF is looking very good for a buying opportunity. Bullish on dollar CHF. Dollar JPY also looks bullish. All right, it may not get all the way back to the retest or fill in these imbalance because of the imbalance that it has right here, right? It may just pull back to this and then drop. Either way, it's looking like we got a pretty good opportunity to buy dollar JPY, but we haven't really had a change of structure or character to the upside, so we got to be careful buying because it is still bearish at the moment. All right, guys, so again, just be careful. I'll say bullish again on the dollar JPY just to fill this imbalance and potentially any imbalance that's near the top. All right, over to pound odd. And pound odd, we've been waiting on this all last week. It's been consolidating like crazy, but I do still believe that we'll get that push up to the upside, because again, we broke this high, we made these new highs, and all of this that you see here was the pullback. It just happened to consolidate in this imbalance area, tapping into our demand area and slowly but surely kind of creeping its way up. So I feel like when we do get the move, it'll be an explosive move to the top for pound odd. So bullish on pound odd. All right, pound cat. All right, so 4 hour time frame, again guys, we broke the high over here, made a new high. All of this was the pullback. All right, and now we are potentially in the mix of still rising, but I can see a fall coming here, so we can potentially just continue this pullback all the way down to kind of grab this liquidity, maybe see if this low is still strong, and then push up from there. So I'm bearish on the pound cat. All right, over to pound CHF. It's very mixy. We broke this low, we went and made this new low, so I do expect the pullback to continue happening. So I'm gonna go with bullish again. I bought it early as it made the low to catch that pullback. So I've been able to catch 182 pips off of that play, but I believe that we're going to continue rising, getting to this level of supply, maybe deeper to where this pullback is, and maybe even up to the supply area, since there's plenty of imbalance to be filled. So bullish on pound CHF. All right, pound JPY also very, very mixed. We broke the low, we made the new low, we started the pullback, but again, you can see we just consolidated. So it's anybody's ball game on GJ. But once again, I am expecting it to get a little higher right before it completes its drop, breaking this low. So I'll go with bullish for now, but it's very, very mixed. So be careful buying or selling it, right? Wait till it gets to the high to sell it, or potentially, I probably wouldn't buy it when it gets to this low, but there's still potential for you to do so. All right, so just watch out for that. But for now, I'm going to go bullish on GJ. All right, over to pound New Zealand. Got a nice little bit of an inverse head and shoulders being created. We got this nice descending triangle. All right, so if we can break above this high and then come back and retest it, I'll be looking for a buying opportunity from there all the way up to this level. So we're talking roughly 850 pips over time, right? So it may take all week for that to play out. It may take longer than that, but just the way that things are setting up, we're looking like we're going to have a great buying opportunity on pound New Zealand. I'm bullish on pound New Zealand. All right, over to crude oil. And again, we broke the low here. We made a new low. We broke the low, made a new low, and we started to pull back. So we could easily continue to rise, going to this break of structure that we had previously, filling this imbalance, right? And there's more imbalance to the top, so I can see us definitely getting a little bit higher and then potentially dropping to go and break that low. But this is a rising wedge, which is a bearish reversal pattern. All right, it's just that we're coming off the support area of that channel or that wedge, so I expect it to rise, right? Only time I really expect it to fall is when it gets to the resistance area, or again another resistance area like this break of structure, or somewhere at the supply areas where I'll be looking to sell it. So for right now, I'm going to go bullish on oil. All right, but watch out, because that is a bearish reversal pattern. Okay, over on silver, we got a nice double top, but this is engineered liquidity. We're probably going to go and sweep that liquidity, tap into supply, and then from there we're going to drop. And because the dollar looks bullish, typically silver will fall. So bearish on silver, guys. All right, over to gold. Gold has just been going crazy, right? Constantly rising. It did make a new high, but it looks like it just broke that high. So I'm not sure if we're going to keep rising or if we're going to get any fall out of gold. But for now, gold is still bullish, guys. So I have to go with bullish for now until I see otherwise on gold. All right. over to natural gas, and it looks like we're probably, well, we're continuing to fall right now, and it does look like it's going to get to this next level of support before it starts to rise up. So I'm going to go bearish just for the moment, but then once we get here, I'll be looking to buy natural gas if the opportunity presents itself, because we are expected to continue going lower. All right, but we'll see. So bullish or bearish temporarily, and then from here potentially bullish on gas. All right, over to SPY. Again, we've been waiting for these to, you know, kind of show them, you know, show their hand. SPY has dipped a little bit, so really all of today, I think, you know, the indices have had a major drop, right? 500 to 1,000 points, and we're tapping into a bit of a demand area, right? So I do expect the indices to begin to rise, getting up to this level of supply and then falling. All right, so bullish on SPY, right? But once we get up to these levels, I will be bearish on SPY. All right, to NAS, same thing, bullish. I expect us to tap into demand a little bit, and then from there head up to this level of supply. So I'm looking for a buy from this area, and then I'll be looking for a sell from the supply area once we get there. All right, over to US 30, last but not least. So we got the retest of the demand zone. I'll be bullish right now, stop right behind demand, aiming for that supply area, guys. So again, so far today, you know, we've gotten almost, okay, so that's 4 days. Let's see right here. All right, 8 hours, right? And we got about 1,000 points in 8 hours. So US 30, you know, did numbers today, but now I'm expecting us to do major numbers coming for the rest of the week. I'm bullish on US 30. So that'll do it, guys. All right, make sure you review it one more time to make sure you see what's the best setups. You know, ask me you know, what you think, you know, about or what I think about, you know, some of the pairs that you may be looking at for buying or selling opportunities. Again, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Let your friends and family know that you found a place with someone who can break it down for you and get you across to the promised land with Forex. All right, meantime, in between time, y'all know what it is. It's your boy. Peace.
Wanna get money? Wanna get paid? That's Forex. Like a sensei, then you know you gotta come and swing my way. And if you wanna fast forward here, replay.